now you can finally see, with almost no effort, in fact, none, you just load Vendo Data Tools, you can see a full forecast for what really matters to you in your business. So what you're looking at here in this screencast is your homepage, the first thing that you see when you open up Vendo Data Tools. And it's showing you today's revenue, signups, and rebills, the key things that you need to be tracking throughout the day. And it's showing you what was happening historically. So for the last 4 weeks, what happened on this day? That's the gray line showing you that average. And then as you go back in the day and you look at actual time, you can see a comparison. So here actual revenue is around 600, historical 300. Then you can also mouse over any other part, and you'll see, like in the forecast here, and you can see the differences hour by hour between what's forecasted to happen and what's happened historically. Those differences are driven by a machine learning approach that helps us take into account all of the data that we have about your business and about the industry and make an accurate forecast about what's going to happen. So in today's revenue, you've got about 9,000 so far. You're going to end up with 10,000 roughly for the end of the day. For the signups, 135. You're going to end up at 165. The important thing to note here is that the typical process for making a forecast would be to divide the amount of revenue that you've made in the day by 24, or how many hours of the day have gone by, then multiply by 24, and that's your forecast. However, you can see from the historical and you can see from the forecast that you're going to end up with more revenue later in the day than before. You can see how that you have a dip here throughout the day, and towards the beginning of the day and the end of the day, I'm here in Europe, you see spikes in revenue. Signups are a little bit flatter. It's kind of a different story. And then when you look at rebills, also relatively flat. There's sort of a combination of those two figures. So there's your sign up forecast. It's showing slightly higher than your historical. And that's good news, of course. Then as we move on to rebills here, it's significantly higher. There was a small dip there after 10 in the morning you can take a look at. But in the rest of the day, you're significantly higher than in the previous last 4 days that were the same day of the week. So I'm doing this on a Monday, and your Mondays, though they show a small peak, there's been a significant difference between that historical average and what's forecasted. So that's been a short introduction to forecasts. The first thing that you see, and I think the most important thing that you can see right away in Vendo Data Tools, it helps you see where your business is going so that you have time to do something about it. And you'll typically be looking at this at the beginning of the day, seeing the full day ahead.